Hello, dear friends in Christ. Good day to you all. I welcome you to another edition of the Word for Today.
Good day, viewers. Our reflection today is taken from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, from verse 1 to 14. And the theme of our reflection is, are you wearing your wedding garment? Jesus once again directs his parables to the chief priests and the elders of the people. And this parable is a parable that brings about a lot of questions. A king organizing a feast for his son's wedding sends out invitation to all those who have been invited, but they refuse to honor his invitation. He sends out invitation the second time. They gave excuses. I'm going to the farm. I have a business to attend to, and so on and so forth. And in fact, even at a point, they had to maltreat and kill the servants, some of the servants that were sent to send out this invitation. And of course, the king reacted accordingly. He sent troops to go and destroy those very persons or people and their cities who killed his servant. And then he sends out another invitation to everybody, good and bad alike. And then he was going around, the wedding, and he saw a particular invited guest who was not wearing his wedding garment. And he asked the question, friend, how are you here without your wedding garment? And the man could not say anything. He had no excuse. And then he was bound hand and foot and thrown into outer darkness. Now, going through this parable, a lot of questions come to mind. What is this invitation all about? Why are people rejecting this particular invitation? And how is it that somebody who was invited, probably impromptu invitation, he honored the invitation, he was not with his wedding garment, and at the end of the day, he was thrown outside. Now, Jesus was telling this set of people, and also by extension, each and every one of us today, that God has invited each and every one of us into his kingdom. That is why he said, many are called, but few are chosen. So everybody is invited into God's kingdom. God never condemns anyone. He never drives anyone away. As long as you honor his invitation to be his son, to be his daughter, you are welcome. But then, honoring God's invitation is not a guarantee that one will go to heaven. And that was why he asked, the man, how come you do not have your wedding garment? How come you are here without your wedding garment? And the man had no excuse. So what exactly is this wedding garment? By virtue of our baptism, we have become children, sons and daughters of the Most High. We have been worn a garment, and that garment is the garment of righteousness, the garment of holiness, the garment of love, the garment of charity. In other words, as children of God, our actions and our deeds should bring forth righteousness, should bring forth holiness, which means that you and I, as children of God, ought to live a life that is pleasing to God. The scriptures will say that by their fruits you shall know them. And that is the garments we are supposed to put on. And that is why people will look at us, will look at you, will look at the way you talk, will look at the way you dress, will look at the way you relate with people and with things, and they will say, surely you are a child of God. But is that the case in our lives? Why is it that many of us who claim to be children of God, we still tell lies, we still backbite, we still gossip, we still, scatter homes, we still do things that we did even when we were unbelievers? So Jesus is saying that many are called, but few are chosen. And those few who are chosen, they were chosen because they were putting on that wedding garment. In other words, they lived a holy life, they lived a righteous life, and they lived a life of charity. So the question once again for us, dear brothers and sisters in Christ, is, are you wearing your wedding garment? If you are not wearing your wedding garment, why?